How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be showing you guys my top 5 needs heading into NHL 23. Obviously, with NHL 22 coming near to an end, we're going to be talking about NHL 23 content coming up here, as we don't have a lot of information, so I feel like it's still appropriate to give out our wish list and talk about what we would like to see in the next game coming up here. Just to let you guys know, my top 5 is mainly going to be surfaced around the gameplay and HUT. That's pretty much the only game mode I play. I play a little bit of World Shell, a little bit of franchise mode, but I feel like if I give my opinion on that, it wouldn't be as valid as maybe some other guys that have put a lot more time into those modes. So it's going to be mainly about HUT. There is one point that does relate a little bit to franchise mode, so we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, so just give you guys a disclaimer, it's going to be mainly about gameplay and maybe some tweaks towards HUT. So without further ado, let's kick off this list with number 1. Number 1 is 100%, it should be number 1 on every single person's list heading into NHL 23, and that is crossplay. This NHL community is already really small on 2 different consoles, let alone 4. That was a big disappointment this year, having to split up 4 consoles. It allowed to searching being way longer than usual, you know, not even being able to find cards on the market, just tons of different stuff. It really caused a lot of problems, and that's what I believe to make this game die a lot earlier than what it's used to be. Usually, you know, lots of players play all the way up until around maybe March or you know, April, something around there. I feel like this year the game died in around February. It doesn't really make sense to me how you could go into next year's game with a 4 console game. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So that'd be the first point towards that. Secondly, not even just having 4 consoles being better for search times and overall the market. Talk about Twitch. I'm a Twitch streamer myself, and so are we have tons of great streamers in the community, but when you split up 4 consoles, people like to only watch their console, especially when it comes to HUT champs from the competitive side. When people want to watch their own console, obviously limits, you know, maybe some of the growth that some people get. Now, obviously, guys like Sleeves and Henrique, they gain pretty much every single console's, you know, audience. But for a person like me who, you know, is a top player and finishes very high in HUT champs runs, you're gonna want to watch your own console. For me personally, I played on mainly PlayStation this year. I was more interested in watching PlayStation champs games than I was in Xbox champs games, because I want to see what happens on the leaderboard. If I watch this guy beat this guy, oh, okay, this helps my chances of finishing higher up in the ranks. If you put it all together, all on the same leaderboard, all on the same console with crossplay, I think the Twitch growth would help so many streamers, including myself, where we would have everyone's console, everyone watching you to see how you do on your runs. I think it would even help Twitch so much more if there was crossplay added to it, and I think it's an absolute need in NHL 23 coming up. Now, coming in at number 2, I also just want to make this clear. This isn't in any order of how important it is to be in the next game. I will say crossplay is number 1 for me, but from 2 to 5 here, I don't really have a preference on which one should be higher or not. But at number 2, I have stick physics. Stick physics was a very, very tough add into the game this year. Adding stick physics into the game this year was really helpful for not having sticks go through boards or go through players or any sort of glitches like that. It really prevented that, which was really good. But as expected, in the first year, it's very, very tough to have it work as properly as it should. And so that's why I felt this year they really lacked some proper stick physics in the game. For example, puck pickups in general. Puck pickups were absolutely horrible this year, in my opinion. I think, you know, with pucks bouncing off sticks and skates, and it makes for, you know, somewhat more realistic hockey game, like just like real life, where, you know, bounces happen, RNG happens in real game. But it got to a point in the video game where it was just so tough to pick up pucks with just random bounces, your stick's just not working as properly as it should. So I just feel like if they clean that up a little bit more, that'd be a lot more helpful. And then also a second point to that, you know, when a puck's right there and your stick got caught on the guy behind you and he has to bring it around, that's fine. That's just like how it was in game. But sometimes it would literally just hold it there the entire time. Like, it doesn't take that long to pull your stick back and get it back down on the ice. Sometimes it would hold it behind your back for 5+ seconds. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I feel like if there's more improvement towards that, I feel like it would make our game 10 times better. Now, I don't know if these two are tied together, but I'm pretty sure stick physics has to do with passing as well. Don't quote me on that, but I think with the new stick physics here, it really screwed up the passing for me. One-touch passing, you know, just like smooth passing in general, I feel like it was really taking out of the game this year's passing felt clunky. It didn't feel smooth. You couldn't really make passing plays as quick as I felt like you were in last year's. So maybe touching up a little bit heading into next year would make the game 10 times better. For me personally, being a comp player, I feel like there's just so many different plays I could have made where if I was quicker with passing, but I couldn't because the game was too clunky for me. So if that ties into sick physics, maybe that'll help, but maybe that's a whole other point. We'll maybe talk about that in a future video. Number 3 on my list is GM Connected. This has been a requested thing for a very, very long time. It's almost got down to a meme at this point. But I'm very, very hopeful that we get this game in, this mode in NHL 23 coming soon. I feel like it also could lead to a lot more than just being able to play franchise mode with your friends. What I'm leading this towards is making like a money league, for example. I've been in a couple tournaments in the past where members from the community create tournaments from their discords, and they do drafts and all this fun stuff, usually around the summertime, and it makes for a very, very fun tournament. Now imagine there was a mode inside the game that was basically just for that. This is a thing that happens in Madden all the time, where they do something called a money league, where everyone throws in a bunch of money and they do a fantasy draft from GM Connected, and they play each other, and whoever wins the tournament at the end gets all the money, or whatever however you want to do it. I feel like this would add an extra effect to EA's NHL game, where I feel like it'd make it so much more fun. You get a lot more community interaction for tournaments and stuff, and then not only that, for the franchise mode players, you get that experience to where you get to play a franchise mode with your friends as well. I think it's a huge need heading into NHL 23. For my final 2 points here, this is going to be mainly based on HUT. For number 4, we have HUT tweaks towards Rivals, HUT Champs, and overall rewards. Let's start off with Rivals. Rivals, in my opinion, needs a leaderboard added to it. For a competitive player like myself, I'm always trying to compare myself against who are the best players in the world and who's doing well in certain modes. HUT Rivals has no point in playing it right now. Obviously, it gives really good rewards, which is awesome, but when you hop into a game, it doesn't matter if you win or you lose, you still get points. Everyone's a winner, and so it feels like to me as a waste of time, where you're just basically just playing the game to play the game. Adding a leaderboard of Rivals would make it that much better for the competitive guys. Seeing where you are ranked against all the top players in the world in that Rivals mode would make it that much better. It's very similar to HUT Champs, kind of in my opinion, but it's less competitive than HUT Champs, but it is still competitive. You still don't want to lose. That's the big thing right now, where if I learn to a Rivals game, I don't really care if I lose. I don't really care if I win, because I'm still getting points. I'm still getting my points towards my rewards. So, adding that leaderboard will have that extra effect and make you want to win and make you want to play the game. Now, moving away from Rivals, we're going to tie this into HUT Champs. HUT Champs, I thought was a great mode all the way up until this year. They changed the rewards heading into this year, where the top 20 weren't guaranteed a HUT Champs card. That, in my opinion, was a huge downfall towards HUT Champs this year. Having those collectibles was so, you get to pick and choose what you want between packs and players, but at the end of the day, it didn't really feel like, it didn't add a competitive urge for the top players to play HUT Champs this year. Now, obviously, for the competitive players, HUT Champs is one of the best ways to make your team better, but I felt like in past years, being a top 20 player in the world in HUT Champs was a huge flex compared to all the rest of your opponents. Just for an example, I remember in NHL 20 near the end of the year, I remember getting a HUT Champ card, Dustin Byfuglien, that was actually on forward. I remember using that card on my first line. Every time he scored, I wouldn't press A, I let it come up on the screen, because it's so cool to show that you are one of the best in the world at that point. HUT Champs lost that edge, it lost that competitive drive to be good at the game, and I felt, lots of people just got their 15 wins and got off the console. It didn't make any sense for me, where, if you want to be top 20, yeah, sure, you get a HUT Champ player, but everyone else gets that same HUT Champ player. It doesn't really make sense to me. The rewards were very much nerfed, in my opinion, heading into this year, so I hope they go back to what it was before. Speaking of rewards, talking about guaranteeing rewards is an absolute must heading into next year. I can't stand playing a full week of Rivals, getting Ultimate and Div 1 Rivals, going into my HUT Champs run, and going 20-0 in HUT Champs, getting top 5 in the world, just to get nothing. It doesn't make any sense to me how you can't just add guaranteed rewards for players for playing the game. And this doesn't just go for me, this goes for anyone. All that time and effort that they put into the game just to get a couple base gold cards doesn't really make sense to me. Yes, you can add those to the collectibles to make master sets, but it never really fully equates to how much time you actually put into the game. If they add guaranteed rewards, this completely fixes it. I could go into, you know, maybe a different video later on talking about like the actual specifics of what guaranteed rewards should go into, maybe rivals or champs or whatever. But I'm gonna keep it to now as saying we need guaranteed rewards in HUT next year. And finally, at number 5 for me, this is maybe a take that isn't a need heading into next year, but I feel like this would add that actually a little bit more into HUT next year, and that is customization in towards your Hockey Ultimate Team. Adding eShield customization into HUT would make HUT that much more fun. Look at what 2K does. 2K, you can add your own Google images into your arena, onto your jerseys. You can make your jerseys any color, whatever you want. It makes that game mode so much more fun. And even if you don't want to give us the customization right away, you can have us unlock this. This gives us something to grind for throughout the year. You know, if you start off with that base arena like you do in eShield, and let's say you, I don't know, let's say you win 30 games to start off the year, and then you upgrade your arena, it'll make it that much more fun, like that extra little grind to achieve those better arenas, those better, you know, logos for your jersey or whatever. If you add the ESHL customization into HUT, I feel like that adds that extra little more fun into it, and it draws a lot more people into the mode, in my opinion. Because for me personally, it's getting a little bit boring just wearing the same old, you know, the NHL logo or the European logos and the jerseys and the same stuff. It's all the same at the end of the day. Why not add custom arenas? Even if you can't add eShield custom arenas into HUT, why not just add, you know, for example, for me, I played in the GWC this year, and they made a GWC arena for us once you made it to the top 8 stage. Why can't people have that GWC arena as their own arena for promotion? Why can't they make custom arenas throughout the year for maybe for a certain event or, you know, something like that? I feel like just adding that extra customization into your HUT team would make it just that much better. So that was the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously, these top 5 needs, I don't expect all 5 of them to be on the game next year. Honestly, I don't even know if I expect 2 of them to be on there. But I hope this improves the game next year, and I hope maybe some EA devs see this and take into fact of my opinion of where I think the NHL 22 could go for next year. Also want to give a quick update to my channel here. I know I haven't posted in a while, and I want to get back into the YouTube scene a little bit. I kind of took some time off for the GWC coming up, and obviously did really well in that tournament, and so it did pay off, but I do want to get back into the YouTube videos. So I do have a Honda tournament coming up these next 4 weeks. Honda decided to release a $10,000 prize pool tournament to end off the year at NHL 22. I'm super excited. I know a bunch of other top players are as well. I'm going to bring you guys a video once a week recapping my past qualifier from that Saturday. So expect those videos once a week. Hopefully I win the tournament and you guys get to see it all on my YouTube channel. I will give you guys updates every single week to see how I do in this tournament, and hope you guys do enjoy those type of videos. So that's it for the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys like to join any of my socials, I have my Discord, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all down in the description. If you guys like to hit those follows, it'd be much appreciated. Also, hit subscribe if you guys like the channel. I'm bringing you guys more videos in the future once again. So if you guys like the video, once again, do those stuff down below. And thank you guys for watching. Take care.